The CBS News political director and Face the Nation moderator John Dickerson is with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Charlie.
Two questions. Number one, did she do what she had to do? Number one. And is this more about simply her goals than how she's going to get there?
Well, we don't know if she did what she had to do until, the polling comes out a week later. I was struck by how much she went after Donald Trump. It was a lot more attack in a nominee speech than I would have expected. And really on that question of the economy, going at the idea that, he's a businessman. A lot of people think, well, he's a businessman and get this thing going. And she essentially went point by point through his business career, as sort of fact-checking and attacking, saying essentially that he was a fraud. That's what really struck me about how, and then, of course, on foreign policy, basically saying he doesn't have the temperament, baiting him with that tweet about being baited by a tweet.
And as you said, she went specific. She said Trump ties are made in China and not in Colorado, that the suits are made in Michigan, in Mexico, not in Michigan. They were all battleground states that she mentioned.
Exactly.
Where they,
what a coincidence.
What a coincidence that is. What about what Nancy mentioned? She is leaving this convention, going to Pennsylvania, Ohio, Nebraska on Monday. Those are rural, white, working-class voters that she's looking for.
Well, she's looking, right. And the idea is not that she's going to win with that group of voters, but she needs not to lose as badly as it appears that she is in terms of Donald Trump taking not only blue-collar voters turning out blue-collar voters that would have voted Republican, but stealing some Democrats. And that's why the idea on the economy is to disqualify him on it, because because voters have this kind of natural feeling, well, he's in business, he can do it.
But everybody looks unified in a balloon drop and great music. But at the end of the day, the light of day, what do you think lives on?
I think, I think these attacks on Donald Trump live on because, as our pal Bob Schieffer said, this is about Donald Trump and disqualifying him. And that's what the Trump people say this campaign is about. They say if Donald Trump could be seen as president, then he will win because he's the candidate of change. People want change, and they just are worried about handing over the presidency to him. And she's trying to say, don't do it. It's too dangerous, and he can't fix your problems. So that's the part of this that will, her list of her long plans she has, everybody knows she has plans.
Yeah.
So I think if anything lives on, it's what she tried to do to Donald Trump.
We got two different visions from these two conventions, did we not?
They define totally different turf on which they want the campaign to be fought. And the question is, who wins the battle over which turf? Is that the darker?
How do they define what turf is?
Well, Donald Trump defined a world in which there are constant threats, in which he and his policies need to defend people from an encroaching danger. Hillary Clinton described a much more optimistic world, a world of acceptance and of tolerance, and where it needs to be fixed, yes, but it can be done together.
And the only thing we have to fear is fear herself.
Right. She taught, boy, she did FDR. She went back to the founders, ascribed all the qualities to the founders that for the previous 3 nights everybody had ascribed to her. It was really wrapping herself in Philadelphia.
Boy, and she took the words out of some Republicans' mouth who were worried that the convention that the Republicans had was no longer Reagan's Morning in America, and then she put a moniker on it. She called it Midnight in America.
That's right. A lot of Republicans saying that her sort of hawkish, patriotic, liberal patriotism was what Republicans used to talk about, that sense of patriotism.
And sense of optimism.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks, John. How you feeling this morning?
A little crispy, Nora, but, you got in at the same hour that I did. So,
Yeah.
Crispy's good.
This morning you're looking at what 3 hours sleep will do for you.
Yeah,
oh, you got 3, did you?
Show off.
Thanks, John.
Sure thing.
And only on Face the Nation Sunday, John talks with Senator Bernie Sanders, plus Donald Trump's campaign chair, Paul Manafort, and RNC chair Reince Priebus. That's Sunday here on CBS.